Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day, wherever you may be around the globe. It certainly is a beautiful morning to, just be intentional and get what you need to do done. Okay? Whatever you have purpose in your heart to do, today is the best time to do it. Why not today? Have you ever thought about that? Why not today? Why do you keep putting off those things that you have purpose in your heart to do? Why not just do it today? Today is a perfect time. Today is a perfect opportunity to begin writing that book or, begin that business or, start that new project, whatever it may be. Today is certainly a beautiful day. I had a really interesting weekend. How was your weekend? Let me ask you that first. How was your weekend? Because I'm telling you, I truly, truly enjoyed my weekend. It was kind of different, but it was so impactful. So very impactful. I always look for things that I could do to further myself along in my goals, in reaching those goals that I'm trying to hit, for this upcoming how would you say this upcoming season? Because this is the first quarter. The first quarter is gone, and this is the beginning of the second quarter. And the first quarter, I crushed my goals. I exceeded my expectations. So in the second quarter, I came up with some things that's going to be a little bit different in reaching my plans and my goals, with my planning, put it that way, reaching my goals. And I'm just so excited about it because it brings excitement, because sometimes you may be doing the same things, over and over again. And sometimes you have to add a little spice to, your planning and everything. So I'm really excited about that. I got some things done, like I said, over the weekend. And, I sat there and I drafted them out. And, it's going to be quite interesting. Quite interesting. So that's what I'm excited about. But I hope that, you had time to sit back and reflect on, the things that you have planned for this upcoming season, for this upcoming year. Because it's so exciting, especially with this time of the year, springtime and newness and flourishing. Think of all of those things that that you could get into, all of those treasures, all of those gems that you have inside of you. Just think about, what can you do to bring those things forward out of your life? And I know some of you may be thinking, Gertrude, what are you talking about? Well, let me tell you this. Let me first introduce who I am, and then it'll all make sense to you. Number one, I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, and I teach women how to maximize their potential and stop leaving money on the table. And I believe a lot of times, women, you just stop, okay? You're not seeing the greatness that's on the inside of you. You're just stopping wherever you may be in whether you're writing a book and you have written one book or two books or maybe several books. And you're just thinking, well, I'm just going to write this another book, or, I've just sold some copies of my book and, I got it out there. Or you may be that business owner and, you open your business and, you're progressing along. But just think, in both of those cases, just think that there's much more for you. I always tell you that your book is a gateway, and it opens up to you many, many more opportunities than going from book to book. Okay? Many, many opportunities. And if you have that business, if you're that entrepreneur out there, maybe you have written a book, okay? But it doesn't stop there. Or maybe you're that entrepreneur that doesn't even have a book. So what are you going to do about it? The ball's in your court. And today I will talk about some of those things. Or let me tell you this. Maybe you're that person that mom, that single mom, or that mom, that stay-at-home mom, who's, taking care of the household. And, you're just caught up in the routine of the dailies. And, you would like to, you know, have more. You would love to have more. And sometimes you might even think about, there's something more for me, but I just can't get my hands on it. I just can't seem to have that forward movement where I could go and do this or that, whatever it may be. Well, today I'm going to drop some nuggets to you to help you in your search, in your journey, in your stagnation. It might even be stagnation, y'all, to recapture your dreams, to dream again. And we're going to talk about today where success begins. Where does success begin? And success begins in the mind. Success begins in the mind. And that's foremost what you should always think about. Okay, there's more for me, there's better for me. Let me try to find a way in order to, relaunch this project, relaunch this dream, ignite the fire that seems to be simmering out. Okay, last week I talked about vision. And today, this is vision to achieve success, because you have to see it before you see it, or you'll never see it. So, where does success begin? Success begins in the mind. And I'm going to walk you through, some of the steps, some of the things, or some of the, how would we say this, the nuggets that will draw your mind, that will, release those things that have been holding you back. Maybe it's discouragement. Maybe, you just been trying and trying, and you just can't seem to get a grip on it, because maybe you don't understand. Maybe, you have tried to ask people and they really didn't know, or maybe it just didn't pan out the way that you thought it should. So I'm going to bring to you some things that could help you to understand where you are and how you could get back to recapturing your dream, or have that fire, light that fire, reignite that fire that will have you interested in doing the things that you have laid down. But like I said, it all begins in the mind, and you have to be receptive to receive these things if you want to allow them to work. You have to, just not think about it, but you have to be about it. Put action to these steps, or to these nuggets that I'm giving you, because it's really not steps, y'all. It's nuggets. Okay? It's nuggets that will draw you to see something that you never seen before. It's going to give you that aha moment where you can say, oh, well, I never thought of that. So let's get started. Maybe, like I said, you're a writer out there, or maybe you're that entrepreneur, and you're coming from a 9 to 5, and your journey has been hard. Maybe it's not what you thought it would be. Maybe you thought that, this could be easier for you. And especially, during this time and what has happened in the past 2 years, with the pandemic and everything, that has caused a sudden disruption in not only your life, but the whole world. Okay. The whole world was disrupted. And maybe you got furloughed, or maybe your job is not what it used to be. And everything is different. It's not going back, y'all. It's not going back. So you have to get that out of your mind. It's not going back to where it once was. That's gone. And it's never to return. So you have to do something with where you are currently. You have to begin to find different ways in order to make this work in your life. And like I said, maybe you're coming from that 9 to 5. And you said, well, my job is no longer there. So I stepped into the business that I always wanted to start, or I stepped into writing my book. And it's just not going the way that I thought it should go. And maybe you're thinking about giving up, about, going back to work, that 9 to 5, or, just going back to where you felt comfortable at. Not that it was good for you, because in that place, you didn't really like that place in the beginning. But it's a comfortable place. It's a place that you know. And maybe there's some fear about stepping out and being accountable for the actions that you take. Maybe you're thinking that, as long as I was following somebody else's direction, I was fine. I was just working for that paycheck, even though I didn't like the place I was in. But still, I received the paycheck. And that's whether you're that author who has stepped out and said, well, let me try something different, or if you that entrepreneur who has stepped out and things just doesn't seem to be going like they're going. But I want to tell you this, that your future and the best is ahead of you. Don't look back. Don't ever look back. There's nothing back there that you should be looking back at. But instead, look forward, because your best is yet to come. No one said that everything was going to be easy. But when we encounter obstacles, when we encounter difficulties, instead of giving up and throwing in the towel, just begin to learn from these things. Begin to see how you can make this work. Because when opposition comes, it allows your mind to expand, to, instead of saying, well, this just doesn't work, I'm just going to quit, to say, how can I make this work? What can I do to move the needle forward? What can I do to obtain? What can I do in order to make this a success? And again, how do you define success? What does success mean to you? Success is different for everybody. What does success mean to you? You have to sit back and define that. What does success mean to me? Success is not always about, having all these things or having all this money. What does success really mean to you? And that's something that you have to sit back and write. Sit back and go to the drawing board. And the drawing board is always, writing your vision and making it plain, and writing your goals, and writing your plans and your strategies in order to reach those goals, and finding out what success really means to you. Success to you is totally different than what somebody else may think of success. So you have to find out for yourself, what does success mean to me? And what does that look like? What does success look like for you? Have you thought about that? You have to see it, y'all, before you see it, or you'll never see it. You have to imagine it. You have to visualize it. You have to think about it. You have to, talk about it. And, this is going to move us into that first talking point, because this is very, very essential that you begin to take actions for yourself instead of just giving up, throwing in the towel and say, I can't do this. This is not working for me. And what comes with that? And let's go to the first talking point. You have to have a right attitude. A right attitude. When oppositions come to you and it seems like, it's not easy, or, there's difficulty along the way, like I said, sit back, get your pen and pad, and begin to think about, how can I achieve this goal? And that requires some thinking. That requires your mind to be activated, to come up with a solution to how you can achieve that particular goal. Because that's all that oppositions do. Okay? Instead of backing away from oppositions, saying I can't, use oppositions to expand your mind, to come up with a solution or solutions in order to obtain that goal. You have to have a right attitude. A wrong attitude will be, oh, you're murmuring and complaining. It's oh me, poor me. It's all of those things. And what that does, it's going to close your mind to seeing what's possible for you. Because all you're going to see when you have a murmuring and complaining spirit is, seeing the impossible. Well, it can't be done. I can't do this. So you have to have a right attitude. And where does success begin? In the mind. Approach it with a right attitude. Because, like I said, there was a total disruption on the world stage for 2 years, 2021. Okay? There was a total disruption. So it's never going to go back to being the way it once was. So you have to make the best out of it. And like I said, pivot. Okay? Pivot. It's a place of growth. It's a place of going forward. It's a place of getting your mind to think, what can I do to make this situation better? What can I do to overcome this stumbling block or this opposition? It's good, y'all. It's good. You have to begin seeing oppositions and fears and all of these things as a growth, as growth tools, as things that's going to sharpen your mind, things that's going to motivate you, things that are going to move you further along in your journey, whether it's a book writing journey or whether you're going down that road of entrepreneurship, whatever it may be. You have to see it as that. I know a lot of times, we may have been around certain situations and, hearing certain things that have us to think differently and think of it as something that, we should avoid. But in actuality, it's good. It's a good thing. You should never avoid it. But it's something that you should really look at and grow from. Use it to grow your mind, to grow your approach, to grow your knowledge. But you have to have the right attitude. And don't be complaining about it. Don't, be displeased about it. Don't be angry about it. But find a way to adjust or fix the situation. And that's all it's there for. When you understand something, you know, and that moves us into the next talking point, understanding the process. When you understand something, it makes a big, big difference. And you won't have all that stress, and you won't have all that tension, and you won't have all that attitude, but you'll begin to see things differently because now your perception will increase, your mind will expand, your knowledge will be sharpened, your strength will be, top notch. You have to exercise. So these are things that come to exercise your mindset, the way you see things, the way you talk about things. You know, I know in the gym there's certain machines that causes resistance. But resistance is good because when you're using these machines in the gym, it's building up muscle. It's building you up. So begin to look at oppositions and all of these things as, building you up for endurance. So you could grow from these things. So you could walk in maximizing your potential and stop being mediocre. Okay? Stop being mediocre, but maximize your potential. And, whether you're writing that book or you're that entrepreneur, stop leaving money on the table. Take it to the max. Take it to the max because there's much more for you. And like I said, everything may not come easy. And that's good. That's a good thing. Because, when things come easy, you don't really appreciate it, right? And you don't really pay much attention to it because it came easy and you may forget about it. And that's what happens a lot of times. Things come easy, people forget about it. But when it comes with opposition, when something comes with resistance, you're going to remember because now you have activated your mind. You have activated your actions. You have activated, your speech to overcome that situation. So now you're going to remember it because now, it's something that will make you better. You're going to remember that because there's growth involved, but you have to, like I said, you have to be open and receptive to learn new things and to see it for what it really is. Another example is when you're facing these oppositions, when, there's that tendency to want to give up and go back to the comfort zone or, to what seems easy for you. Always remember this, okay? Raw resources. Because I'm telling you, you are a resource. You have many gems and treasures on the inside of you. There's so much on the inside of you that you don't even realize. So you have to allow yourself to understand this process of raw resources. Raw resources are something that is covered up, just like a diamond. Okay? A diamond, as we know it, in its raw state, is really covered up and dirty. Okay? And the process of getting that diamond to shine, to show its brilliance, to be uncovered, number one, okay? And to place it in that state where we enjoy the many facets of beholding that diamond. There's a lot that has to be, uncovered, or a lot that has to go in uncovering its brilliance. So just think about that, the raw resources, and allow yourself to advance your growth toward obtaining those goals. Don't give up. Just because the way may be hard or you think it's hard, but continue to move through it. Continue to open yourself up to learn and be receptive, to uncover the natural resources that lie within you. And all of that is your brilliance. All of that is your treasures. All of that is your gems that is waiting to be uncovered. So let's go to the next one. And let's talk about this more. Keep your vision alive and active. Okay? There's a reason for that. Always keeping your vision before your eyes. Whether you have it on your phone, whether you have it on your tablet, whether you have it on your PC or your laptop, whether you have it on the wall, whether you have it in a notebook, okay? But when you have it in a notebook, always open it up daily, have it sitting on your desk, wherever it may be. Keep your vision always before your eyes, alive and active. View it every day, all day long. I have it on my laptop. I have it on the slideshow. Okay, I have a slideshow. I also have it on YouTube, my vision. And I look at it all day long. All day long while I'm working. I glance up and I look at it. And it goes from slide to slide. And if I'm sitting somewhere and I have my phone with me, instead of allowing my mind to drift off and just drift off there, you know how it is, y'all, how your mind just drifts off and you're just thinking about this and thinking about that, but really not thinking about anything. I pull out my phone and I look at my slideshow on my phone. And I begin to see myself in that slideshow, seeing my future. I talked about that last week, about vision. All the way from Monday up until Friday, all of that is about vision. And to get more in depth with it, go back and look at those broadcasts, talking about why to keep your vision active and alive, always keeping it before your eyes. Because if not, you'll get sidetracked. And you'll waste precious time just thinking about nothing. How many times are you just daydreaming and daydreaming about absolutely nothing? Okay? Instead of daydreaming about absolutely nothing, like I said, write your vision and make it plain. You write your vision and you also put it in visual form. Put it in a visual format so it's always before your eyes, that you see yourself in that vision. That's very important, seeing yourself in your vision. Because if you see yourself there, you'll arrive there. But if you can't see yourself in the vision, guess what? You'll never arrive there. You can only arrive at the place that you see. So make this a part of your daily routine, keeping your vision alive and active each and every day. Because that's another thing. When people lose their way and they begin to murmur and complain, what does that indicate? They got off track. They lost the vision for themselves. When you get discouraged, you lost your vision. You lost the purpose for your life. Why are you doing what you're doing? That's the big why. Why are you doing what you're doing? That's something else that you could write down. And ask yourself that question. Why am I doing what I'm doing? That's another piece that should go on that vision board, or, on your vision that you have written down in that notebook. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Last week I talked about, is this vision for me, or is this someone else's vision that I'm trying to live out? Your vision is very important. And it's very important for everyone to have their own vision, because each of us are unique. We're unique, y'all. We don't have to copy behind anybody else. We have to learn that we are uniquely made, and we each have a purpose. We each have a purpose that's by design. And what's for me will not work for you, and vice versa. So always be unapologetically you. And once you're unapologetically you, and what I mean by that is knowing who you are, you don't have to apologize for it. You could keep your vision active and alive right before your eyes each and every day, because that's you. You're not separate from your vision. You are your vision. You and your vision are one. So what is your why? Why are you doing the things that you're doing? So where success begins, it begins in the mind. It begins with knowing who you are. It begins with knowing your why. Because if you have all of these components together, you will be unstoppable. When distractions come, when oppositions come, you'll be able to stand. You won't crumble. It has to be 100% you, y'all. It has to be. It won't work any other way. You have a made up mind. You have a made up mind. What comes, what may come, what may go, it wouldn't matter. Who may come, who may go, it would not matter. Success begins in your mind. You have to see it. Okay? You have to see it in your mind's eye before you see it. Okay? In the natural. Or you'll never see it. It won't come to you because you haven't seen yourself there. You have to see it. I talked about, I think it was either Thursday or Friday, about once you see something, okay, you're seeing it in the future, which is actually your present. Now that's a pathway. It's giving you a clear pathway to obtain it. Always look to keep your vision active and alive. And here's another part where success begins. It begins in the mind, and it helps you to move forward. Mind transformation. Simple as that. Mind transformation. Vision to achieve success. Move forward through those oppositions, through those fears, through those apprehensions, through the naysayers. Move forward. There's nothing in the past. There's no going back. Okay? Change has taken place. There is no going back. Why would you ever want to go back? when the best is ahead of you. Don't be afraid of your future. Your future is great. Your future is great. Look at your vision. Keep your vision before your eyes. It's going to help you. I just said it's a pathway. You saw your vision, okay? You saw the end from the beginning. Now, you see it before your eyes. All you have to do is continue to move forward. It's up here, over here. It's not back here. So continue that forward progression. Stop looking at the past. Seek greater, because greater is ahead of you. You know, like I said, when people get lost off of the track, off of their pathway, they become discouraged. They begin murmuring and complaining. They begin to say, you know, why am I doing this? This doesn't make sense. That's what happens. Your pathway. If you think it, you'll obtain it. If you see it, you'll have it. So move forward. Don't stop. Don't go back. You know, I tell you this. When my layoff was in 2006, when the housing market went bust and we were all laid off, like I said, I was laid off twice during that time through no fault of my own. But because of the industry, the housing industry, I pivoted. I took what I had as a hobby. And I not only just wrote books for myself, but I opened a business, y'all. I opened a business. You see, I used what I had on the inside. That beforehand, I didn't know that was inside of me. But because of that layoff, because of the things I was going through, in order to, and I was trying to get another job, got another job. You work 7 months, got laid off again. You know what I mean? But before all of this disruption came, I didn't really know what I had inside of me because I was busy climbing the corporate ladder, just following a day-to-day routine. But once I arrived at that point, instead of, trying to seek another job, I began to look inside of me to see what did I have to work with. And that's what you got to see. What do you have to work with? What, in other words, what's my treasures? What's my gems? What do I have inside of me that could bring me a monetary return? And I'm going to tell you, this road was not easy. There was many ups and downs. It was not easy, but I kept going forward. I kept going forward. I kept shortening my skills. I kept shortening my talents, my abilities. I kept perfecting those things. I was receptive. I listened. I listened not just to listen, but to listen to understand. I began to shift my mind to see beyond what I was seeing currently, and to see myself at this destination. And like I said, it's a pathway. When you see it, it leads you down that path. Of course, there'll be things that come to try to knock you off that path. But if it does come, you just continue on. You knock it off, shake it off, as you say, and just continue to move. Continue to move forward and begin to strengthen yourself. Begin to strengthen yourself by knowing unapologetically who you are. Knowing who you are, your inner image, your purpose. And once you know those things, what comes and what goes will not shake you, will not turn you around, will not have you discouraged, because you have your eyes on the prize. And that prize is the ultimate goal that's you're going down that path to meet. So continue to move forward. Don't miss it. Okay? You cannot miss it because you have a purpose and there's a plan in your life to reach your audience and to change the trajectory of their lives. But at the same time as you're changing their lives, your life is also changing. And it's opening up. It's flourishing. Like I said, a hobby. I sell books. Then I had a production company where I produce other people's books, and then coaching, and then virtual events, and live events, and speaking for this one and speaking for that group, and many, many things. Many things. Creating e-courses, creating e-books, creating things, all of those things, y'all. All of those things. And it's much, much more. I'm not at the end. And you're not at the end. But we have to continue to move forward and walk down the path that purpose in our lives. And I'm going to tell you, do not get weary. You cannot get weary. You can't, say, oh, I just can't do this. This is too much for me. Let me tell you a secret to being weary. Okay? This is where collaboration comes. And I have that scrolling down at the bottom of the screen. Collaboration. Collaboration is very important. When you find yourself being weary, and this is not the time, this is not the season for that one-man show, okay? Because it's not about us at all. It's about others. It's about, collaborating with people who are not only beginners, but they're doers, they're finishers, okay? They're moving, they're progressive. There's a forward movement of elevating one another, okay? It cannot be one-sided. You just can't be in a group, collaborating with them, and you're trying to get all you can out of it, but you're not making deposits in other people's lives. It has to be an even thing, okay? You have to, have a group of women or a group of men or a group, whatever your group may be, okay? Whoever's in that group, but you have to elevate one another to meet the needs of all of the audiences involved. Your audience, this person's audience, that person's audience, everybody's audience that's in that group, okay? At the same time, elevating one another. It has to be done that way, or it won't work. Collaboration is a beautiful tool, but it has to be also sharing and caring. Sharing and caring. And then it could, you can never be alone. It's not about being a lone ranger, because you will never reach all of the people that you are designed to reach if you're trying to do it all alone. You can't do it. You cannot do it. It's not possible, because you don't know who somebody else knows. This is just how we design, y'all. Okay? How we are designed. Because as we, come in collaboration with others, there are people that we would have never have met, because we are connected to so and so, or so and so, or so and so. So always look to connect with people. Always look to connect with people who wants to collaborate and know the power of collaboration, and not who are selfish about collaboration, but people who are elevating one another for a common goal of changing people's lives. And that's whether you're that author or whether you're that entrepreneur. It's always good, y'all, to collaborate with people. And then again, let me drop this nugget in here. Those according to your purpose. Let's define that. Let's get it down clear. Those according to your purpose. That's why you have to know your purpose. Because each of us has a piece of the puzzle. And when we collaborate the right way, that puzzle will be fitly joined together. Fitly joined together. It makes a great difference who you are collaborating with in order to reach your goals, in order to, have that success that you desire. So, like I said, if you're beginning something new and you're thinking about going back to whatever it was that you were doing, I want you to think again. I want you to go back and re-listen to this live stream and consider some of the ways that you may be falling short, and to be motivated, y'all. Be inspired to continue forward, moving forward, having the right attitude, understanding the process by keeping your vision active and alive, and not being weary. Where does success begin? It begins in the mind. Why are you doing this? You have to know your why. You have to know your why. You have to know your purpose. You have to know your audience. You have to know, understand, know and understand their pain points. You have to be serious about this. It's not just, you just existing just to exist. Because in that is emptiness. You have to have a purpose. You have to have a purpose. And there is a plan for your life. And like I said, let me just put it there on the screen for those of you who are looking to collaborate. Schedule a free complimentary 15-minute Zoom meeting with me. And you could go to my calendar link and /keys to wealth building and schedule that a meeting with me. I would love to talk with you, and see how we could collaborate together. If this is something that will help you and help me and help all of us, to help women to maximize their potential and stop leaving money on the table. Because, that's my purpose, to touch women, okay? And to get them to realize that they have value and they have worth. And, they have a responsibility to not only change their readers or their clients' life, but also that family of that reader or that client, and also for generations to come. It's a very important thing to, know who you are, know your purpose, and know your why. And know your why. Very important. So where success begins, it begins in the mind. And you have to have a vision to activate success. So I hope that what I have shared with you, these nuggets, has ignited you to not give up, but to continue to go forward, to meet your goals, to Draft out those plans and those strategies in order to do it on a daily basis, not just one time thing, but on a daily basis. Get excited about your journey, okay? It shouldn't be something that you dread getting up to do. Anytime you dreading, oh, I got to do this and I don't feel like it, go back and look and see, okay? Find out your why. And in finding out your why, you'll be able to, trim that thing down and to get it to fit your purpose. Okay, your purpose. Everything is by design, y'all. Everything is by design. So I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule today to be here with me on this segment of Turning Your Passion in the Prophet Morning Show. And I look forward to seeing you the next time. So remember this. This is your time. This is your season. This is your turning point. So have a great rest of your day.